everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda. So, we have been working on our Steampunk Folio. And let's see, we've got the cover all made. We put in this little flip piece. And now we're ready to put in our little journal. So, I have already made up my journal, and this one I've done just some plain papers, a couple of book pages. That's pretty much it. And I've gone ahead and took one of the manila folders and I simply cut it such that it made a cover for my journal. And there's nothing too special about that we haven't already done. And I did a really lousy job of stitching it. Just put my papers on and then stitch it all up. So now I'm going to bind. I am a really big lover of the We Are Memory Keepers binding punch board. And what I really love about it is that, one, it's just easy to use. And two, when I have a project that has differing sizes of pages, it is really great because I know I can choose exactly where that page is going to go on, you know, within my book, which again, I really like that. The punch board comes with this little guy, which had a needle, a couple of needles. Those are in my other needle book at this time, and it comes with a little punchy tool, and it came with some thread, which is very much like floss. I don't know what it is, but it's very much like, you know, teeth floss. And I loved it. I really loved it. And it's what kind of encouraged me to use what I use for binding, which is fishing line. Braided fishing line. Alright, so what I do is I get my paper in and I pick one, the tallest in my book. And for this one, all of my pages are the exact same height, so I just grab the first one. And I find the middle, and it doesn't always completely line up, so this one's good. Right there is fine. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where I had these already set is perfectly fine. So what I do here is this is Post-it tape. And my Post-it tape, you can get it in these little rolls. It comes, I think, in white and yellow, and I don't know if it comes in other colors as well, but I usually get the white and the yellow, whichever is the cheapest, because strangely enough, the colors change the price. And I just rip off a little piece and then put an arrow towards the hole. This way, no matter what, I always remember, because for some reason, I think this would be my suggestion to We Are Memory Keepers. They really should have numbered these holes. But instead, I just make, and then, so then that's my first one. From this point on, since these are all the same height, I can grab a few of them at a time. And you can really grab quite a bit and put them in all at one time. And then slide them in. So like I said, what I really like is that if I have pages of differing heights, and you don't need to screw that back in every time, I just hold it down. If you have pages of differing heights, what I do is I make a little, take another piece of my Post-it tape and put a mark to show this is the tallest of my pages. Just so I know, don't go, if I'm sliding it up and down, don't go any farther this way than that. And then each page, I can say, okay, I want this to be at exactly this point. And then when I punch my holes, it will be exactly at that point in my book. Whereas if you're doing the punching such that, you know, you've folded up all of your pieces. A lot of people, then you clamp it and then put it maybe in a cradle or just hold it like this. Yeah, it's very hard to get things exactly where you want them to be. And if I like sometimes to really set up when decorating my albums such that, you know, I have this page here so that it lines up with the page behind it, you know, if that was a short page, which is why this comes in very handy, because then I can put the two in there and get them exactly where I want. So now that I've punched the holes into the pages, all I do is line it up with my cover. So now this one only has the one signature, so it's not too difficult, but I'm going to line it up with my, just make sure it's all nice in there, and then I'm just going to make a mark on the fold that lines up with my little holes. Get out my felt pad again and just punch those holes. And you can see that went very fast, and now I have my book all ready to be bound. So I'll do that offline. Don't need to see. I just do a pamphlet stitch, but I will show you real quick what I use. Oh, I have, like I said, I use fishing line. This one is the company doesn't matter. What you're looking for is the braided. You want it to be braided. Let's see, this is 8 pound, 0.5 millimeter, 36 kilogram, 80 pound. Yeah, 80 pound. And I get the white. And then they actually have, this is a camouflage, basically. And as you can see, it's a bunch of different colors, and it just slowly changes, right? So ombre kind of thing. I really like this, especially if, so I'm probably going to use that for this one because it goes really nicely with the color. So the fishing line comes in a bunch of different colors. Now, why do I use the fishing line? One, it is super strong. I mean, you can't break this thread with your fingers. It's actually quite difficult to cut. So if I just go like, you can see I have to pull and snap like that. So it's quite difficult to cut. The other thing I really like is that when I'm tying my final knot for however I've bound, I can pull and pull and pull, and it does not cut the paper. So when I would use wax threads before, I could see it just ripping, right? As I pull, it would rip my paper. I don't know what it is about this stuff, but it doesn't do it. And also, since the fishing line is meant to slice through the water, it's really glossy. It's very much like the flossy kind of stuff that you got with the We Are Memory Keepers. So it's very much like that, except that it's kind of, like I said, it was just like dental floss. It's kind of flat. But so you don't have to wax this because it's made to slice through the water. So it's already very silky, and it'll just glide right through your holes, and you don't have to wax the thread, which I always hated because even when I would purchase wax thread, for me it was never good enough, right? It would still not go through my paper very well. And if I waxed it myself, then I would end up with gabs of little waxy chunks, you know, in my hole. So I hated that. This has worked perfectly. This was a suggestion from my dad. This one is 90 pounds. So it really doesn't matter. 90 pounds, 80 pounds. It's the braided line that you want to get. So I'm going to just quickly stitch up my little journal here, and then we'll put it into the book. Just a second. All right, I've got my little journal here all stitched in, ready to go. So, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my binder, or my cover here, with a ribbon. So all I'm going to do is I put it where I want it to be, and then turn it to the side and find the middle here, and then put my ribbon in and close her up. Now this is going to be hard to show because I need to hold it where I can get to it, but I'm going to tie this right in the middle. If you want to tie it at the top, make sure that you adjust, so that you got the longer piece where you need it. But I'm just going to put this right here in the middle. Now typically I would have my husband helping me out with a finger so that I get this real nice and tight, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just trying to show you. So all I'm doing is I'm going to tie that in there, little bow, and this is kind of difficult to show you and do at the same time. And so it's going to be really loose. Just go with that because I don't have an extra finger. One thing you can do, it's probably not going to work too well, but you can, if you've got some of these tweezers, these are the kind that are closed, and when you squeeze they open. So their natural state is to be closed. One thing you can do is get your knot and then put your tweezer on there and hold the knot in place well. It's not as perfect, and it just, it's not holding on very well because it's a pretty big piece. It's much better when you have a smaller thread or something. So that's very, very loose, but I will fix that when I have someone around to give me a hand to hold on to it while I make my tie. But now you can see that my journal is held in with my ribbon. Nice thing is it does lay flat. So if I wanted to write or work in my journal while it's in my cover, it's no problem. Even with the ribbon in there, it goes nice and flat. So that's one reason I really like using the ribbon binding. As you can see, we close it all up, and we have this pretty ribbon on the outside. And now our journal is in. So there we go. Now, like I said, the rest of the journal is really just adding, your folio is really adding just the pieces that you like, what makes, kinds of things that you like. So for instance, let's go back to the example one. We had just some pockets. Over here I added let's see if I can get this over here, a little envelope. This was from my stash, and I think it wasn't a used envelope, so there wasn't, it hadn't been sent anywhere, it was just envelope in my stash. On the other side here we have some pockets, and there's our journal in place and another pocket here. So add some pockets. If you like lots of places to write, you can add yet another notebook like we have inside of our little fold here. Maybe another flip if you want to flip, that kind of thing. So at this point it's completely up to you. Decorate it any way you want, add any little pieces that you like, but have fun. I really enjoy making these, and once you understand the basics in terms of how to deal with your spines, how to get some flips and whatnot, coming up with all kinds of different variations on the theme, is really simple. So definitely, you know, if you like making these like I do, go for it. Do all kinds of fun things. If you want, make this sucker just keep going, flip, 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 out, 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 out. We probably have room for several more flips here, so left lots of room. Oops, get that in so you can see there's still lots of room in our cover for lots of stuff. So alright, so the next video what I'll do is I'll just do a flip through of my final version. So I'm going to get this all finished up, add all the stuff that I want to add to it, get it all decorated, put whatever pieces I want in there, and then I'll do a flip through. If there's anything I end up deciding, you know, oh, that, you know, maybe a little more complex than just adding a pocket, I will definitely come on and make a video. If there's anything that you specifically want to see how to add, like maybe something that was in here, just let me know and we will do that either with this one, or I've got several more folios that I've been just kind of playing with and coming up with different styles and whatnot. So if you'd like to see some tutorials on that, I would love to do that. So let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Please like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.